It's not Trump that will come and determine the outcome of 2027 election.
Everything that is bad, everything that is obnoxious, everything that is illegal is what that man represents. Yet he's presenting over our face. I've listened to you.
Concern with this is that in pursuing political interest, do not drag the whole country into disrepute. Unfortunately, or whatever reason, he is the sitting president.
We give them eyeglasses.
To have engaged a lobbying firm in America to submit documents to the Trump administration.
And I think that it's some kind of unpatriotic pitch to think that, oh, if you blackmail a candidate in the Nigerian election, then Donald Trump will step in and say, this is what I want in Nigeria.
Tinubu chances in the 2027 election. Those are the issues in question.
How was it resolved?
No, I've just told you.
No, this not.
No. Was he disqualified? Was President?
I will comment on this after.
Was he disqualified?
The deal is done.
Hello guys, welcome back to Chaka. We also remember how the APC and the Tinubu government tried to use every means they asked, using the insider, the outsider, to destabilize, disable, disorganize, and deregister every political party they found formidable in this forthcoming general election. We saw how parties such as ADC, Labour, NDC, MPM, PROP, the list goes on, how this party were found with one trouble or the other, and even to the extent, some of them were deregistered. They said the Peking where he said Mama no go sleep, him or herself also no go sleep, and that is what is happening to APC as we speak now. So the news broke a few days ago that Atiku and his lobby firm went to the US to lobby the US government to release every case file and a drug-related case file relating to Tinubu. And now the APC world is crashing here in Nigeria. So without not wasting our time, I want us to first start with this video of Arise TV in this interaction between Ruben Abati, Hussaini Rufai, where both of them at each other's neck. Abati is supporting Tinubu government. Hussaini is saying, no, you can't support them. The list goes on. I want us to watch that interview. Then we'll come back to continue with our story. But before we do that, guys, please, if you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, click on the bell icon so that whenever I drop any latest update, you will be notified. Thank you very much.
Now to politics, with a diplomatic bombshell. A Washington-based lobbying firm hired by Atiku Abubakar under a 12-month, $1.2 million contract says it has begun submitting over 60 pages of U.S. Department of Justice records on President Tinubu's 1993 drug trafficking forfeiture case to members of the Trump administration, Congress, and senior congressional staff. The firm says many U.S. government officials were previously unaware of the DOJ's allegation and intends to bring them to Trump's attention, particularly ahead of Tinubu's planned meeting with Trump at Onga in September. The documents allege that between 1988 and 1991, Tinubu opened and controlled multiple U.S. bank accounts used to receive and transfer funds alleged to be proceeds of heroin trafficking, resulting in a 1993 civil forfeiture settlement of $460,000. Now, the president has consistently denied wrongdoing, and the Presidential Election Petition Court ruled in 2023 that the petitioners failed to prove any criminal convictions. But Nigerians are reacting online, and I'll take Temi Tokpe's post on X. He wrote, President Trump faces more serious allegations on a daily basis. This will easily endear him more to his Nigerian counterpart. Atiku is only fooling himself. Meanwhile, Nigeria is ripe for strengthening its treason laws. While Miguel wrote, just imagine Atiku invested that $1.2 million on any poverty alleviation programs in Adamawa. But he chooses to waste that huge amount of money in chasing the ghost for a man who has been trying to run the country for decades. His biggest strategy is still running to the US for help. He expects a whole superpower to drop their global issues just to read a 30-year-old civil court case file. Someone needs to tell him that foreign politicians do not hold the keys to the local ballot boxes. Your thoughts?
That last commentator cannot be more correct. Now, we have been in this issue, this red herring of civil forfeiture, this and that, every election cycle. I think it started as far back as shortly after the 1999 election, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the governor of Lagos State. Since then, these documents have shown up during every election cycle in which President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been involved. And the resolution has been the same at the end of the day. The most recent being the 2023 general elections in Nigeria, when petitioners, I think it was Mr. Obi at the time, went to the Presidential Election Petition Court to say that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as candidate of the APC, should have been disqualified because he had a matter in the United States. This is the same thing that the ADC, right? That's the party of
ADC.
ADC, yes. Atiku Abubakar. That's the same thing they've gone to exhume. The same basic material facts about heroin trafficking, forfeiture of $460,000, and then they are going to Donald Trump. Von Basten, that's the name of the PR firm that has dragged this up again. They are talking to Trump. They are talking to the Department of Justice. They are talking about a freedom of information disclosure by one lawyer at a certain time. Just the same story all over again. Just to make a few points. The first is, I don't think anything will come out of it because we are dealing with two different jurisdictions here. And that particular matter, no matter how it was resolved in the United States, has not even been registered in Nigeria. So you can't just go and exhume something without following the due legal process. That's one. Number two is that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is spending over $1.2 million.
Yes, $1.2 million.
$1.2 million to go and hire a PR firm in Washington. Now, we have PR firms here in Nigeria that are also doing very well. We have the Institute of Public Relations. We have distinguished public relations experts. Now, a man who wants to rule Nigeria, if he's giving out business, why doesn't he encourage the PR industry in Nigeria? There's nothing that Von Basten will do, whether to dredge up some material or to lobby in Washington, that we don't have people, PR firms with even international connections that they cannot do here in Nigeria. That's the second point. The third point here is that people are saying Trump should take a decision on Nigeria. It's not Trump that will come and determine the outcome of 2027 election. And I think that it's some kind of unpatriotic pitch to think that, if you blackmail a candidate in the Nigerian election, then Donald Trump will step in and say, this is what I want in Nigeria. Those who want to rule Nigeria should also respect the sovereignty of Nigeria and not go and lobby outsiders to come and embarrass Nigeria. The fourth point, and I think I can stop on that, is to say that the 2027 general elections should be determined by the Nigerian people. Whatever material fact anybody wants to protest, whatever present, whatever campaign anybody wants to push, let them do it here in a very competent and robust manner, and let the Nigerian people be given the opportunity to make an informed choice.
Right.
Nobody should dictate to Nigerians. Nobody is going to say you must vote for Tinubu by force.
I know everybody
you should be able to make your choice.
It's just a sentence from you, Rufai, because you have spoken.
Just a sentence and a question. Dr. Abati, why didn't you also slam the federal government for going to employ American PR firm? Why did they employ?
It's the same logic. It's the same logic. We have a PR industry here that is thriving.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay.
We have experts. We have experts. I'm sure you all know some PR experts here.
We need to do a balance. Just
going to waste public funds and good resources.
I do think he has a right. He's within his rights to pursue this matter, and I do think that this matter of the forfeiture, like Dr. said, has come up a number of times. Yes, it wasn't, but it's just the way that and the low level of expectations when it comes to leadership recruitment that we have that will sweep things like this under the carpet.
Right.
In any country, you would want to pursue it to the last. However, having said that, as a patriotic Nigerian this morning, I do think that we have to get to a point. I mean, I was talking about aid the other day. They said, no aid. Well, I say we should not collect aid, but any small matter like this, to go and report to President Trump. Somebody comes to go and report to President Trump. Wait. What he's saying is that what he wants to do is, from what I see, is to cause embarrassment, especially because President Tinubu in 2 years is going to hunger and will meet with President Trump.
But he did the same in 2023.
Yes, but it wasn't fruitful. So he knows he will not be fruitful. He got to the Supreme Court. But what I'm saying is that this is not just about Tinubu. It is the office of the president, and he represents every single Nigerian. My concern with this is that in in pursuing political interest, do not drag the whole country into disrepute. Unfortunately, or whatever reason, he is the sitting president, and whatever we think we want to embarrass one man, it is a gross embarrassment to the nation of Nigeria. And I don't think that we should carry every matter and go to the United States in this neo-colonialism to come and intervene and say, oh, do this. No, we're giving too much power to the United States at this point.
Well, thank you. Solve his trade problems with Mexico and
government
Canada.
sends lobby.
I leave Nigeria alone.
It's the same thing. All right.
Your government sends lobby.
No, that's collaboration.
Wait now. Which collaboration? Collabo.
So we heard from the interaction between Ruben Abati. Sometimes I don't know where Ruben Abati stands for, but we'll talk about that later. I want us to first watch this VOP video of Osas where he said that nobody has the right to call the president corrupt or call the president drug law, that the president has immunity, that nothing should ever happen to him, that Atiku is doing to even be persecuted for treason. Let us watch that interview, then we'll come back.
The question we're asking you from your experience is that does forfeiture or, entering into a plea bargain, does it in any way give the impression of culpability?
Well,
in any other crime, it may not be this one, but in any other crime, does it give the impression
when there is a plea bargain?
Yes, and then forfeiture followed.
He suggests very strongly that the person who had entered a plea bargain was ab initio involved in the activities. I'm careful with using the word crime.
I understand. Yes.
With the activities that leads to the bargaining. But in this instance, what we are dealing with is beyond plea bargaining, but a forfeiture by a pronouncement of a court.
Okay.
And the details of that pronouncement is said to be tied to one Ahmed Tinubu in the 90s.
Okay.
But the Ahmed Tinubu happens to be the Nigerian president of today. The issue in discourse just now is whether the action of the former vice president to have engaged a lobbying firm in America to submit documents to the Trump administration, and to what extent does that affect Tinubu chances in the 2027 election? Those are the issues in question. And my opinion is that there is no enforceable law, whether in Nigeria or in America, that forbids Tinubu from participating in the election.
All right. So if I understand you clearly,
this issue has become stale.
Well, yes,
it will have no direct implication on the decisions of Nigerians who are already for or against President Tinubu. What I think the opposition should be doing right now is to come home and tell Nigerians what they can do differently. Nigeria have a lot of issues they are dealing with already.
Of course, absolutely.
We need a government that can be a strong alternative and not the one that we engage in reputational damage or diplomatic damage. Because what they are doing just now, we go beyond this damage. We go beyond this precedent.
Sometimes I don't know how these people think. But now, there's another session I want us to watch. This is after Atiku replied to Bayo and Enuga, because when the news broke out, Bayo and Enuga, the man who said that Nigeria is not passing through any hardship, that he haven't seen anybody, any Nigerians that is passing through hardship. There is a security in Nigeria. The man who said that came on, wrote a lot of tweets saying that Atiku is even having problem in the US. Who is Atiku? Atiku should be persecuted, blah, 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 blah. Now Atiku came out to reply to Bayo and Enuga. And this reply is what that is being discussed on Arise TV. And I want us to watch that.
Atiku Abubakar has fired back at the presidency after a presidential spokesman, Bayo Ononuga, described his U.S. lobbying campaign as self-defeating and an affront to Nigeria's sovereignty, and shockingly declared that if Atiku were Chinese, he would be rotting away in jail. Atiku dismissed the statement as proof that the administration has chosen diversion over disclosure and insults over accountability, insisting that raising questions about publicly available records is not an attack on Nigeria's sovereignty, insisting that accountability is not foreign interference, but a fundamental democratic obligation. And, this is what I was talking about, the attack. I'd like your comment on it. And, Dr. Bati, you can wrap up on that, your thought.
I thought Frank Shaibu, Senior Special Assistant to Atiku Abubakar's statement and response to Mr. Bayo Ononuga was quite apt. The truth is that we on this table already had said a lot of the things that Mr. Bayo, in fact, I feel like he was watching this show and got a few points from here. Around, number one, an attack on, just questioning why Mr. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar would challenge Nigeria's sovereignty by heading to the United States with this information. That was one. Number two was also talking about the fact that he had a case to answer. Rufai, you mentioned that yesterday, so it was quite interesting to see that his comment. And the response was, stop distraction, stop deflection tactic, answer the main crux of the matter. The main crux, which is asset forfeiture, which Mr. Ononuga did not in any way, address directly. All he
did. He said that
that's why I said. That's why I said directly. The particular one, I said directly. The particular one that was raised again were certain disclosures that were made anew, and they did acknowledge the fact that in the Supreme Court had ruled that it had no bearing with local elections, but that actual issue of whether or not there was asset forfeiture and what the implications of that was has not yet been settled. And he mentioned in his statement that ought to be done. Let's just settle this matter once and for all. That is what that new statement by Frank Shaibu made. Going back to contest of ideas, which ought to be the level at which we play politics, and I just feel like it's such a disservice and cheating the people of a viable, proper, intellectual debate when it comes to the kind of leaders that we ought to choose, instead of mudslinging. In fact, if I asked this morning, is that now part of the work of the presidential spokesman, which is just to sit down and just talk about someone and say, oh, this, and the same vein, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that jab at Atiku, even though he didn't mention his name. Let me just say, though, that in fairness to this administration, pensions have been paid. In fact, I understand that there are some recoveries made by the EFCC in terms of asset forfeiture that has gone towards the civil service and ensuring that pensioners are paid. Good. So that's one thing this administration has done quite well. But other things still persist. From President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his own campaign manifesto is already being read by Nigerian people. His performance in his first administration, the previous campaign, how well he has been able to discharge those duties.
Right.
So
thank you for highlighting that aspect of the pension.
The matter about civil forfeiture of $460,000 in the United States has been settled. After the 2023 general election, the matter came up that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should have been disqualified. And the Presidential Election Petition Commission, PEPC, addressed that matter. And they said it didn't apply. Because when you are taking a matter from another jurisdiction, for it to apply in your jurisdiction, you register it first. There was no registration. You can't just go and take a matter that has been resolved in another jurisdiction and just throw it. So the best that they can do is to keep talking about it, to influence public opinion. Yes. But it's a matter that had already been resolved in the 2023 election. And that was why I referred to...
Dr. how was it resolved?
No, I've just told you.
No, this not...
No. Was it disqualified? Was President...
I will comment on this after.
Was it disqualified?
It was not resolved.
It was one of the issues...
Dr. Abati, it was not resolved.
What Mr. Frank Shaibu was stating was...
about conflict of jurisdiction.
It was not resolved.
About conflict in terms of jurisdiction and the legal processes that you have to follow.
Yes.
Those who raised the allegation did not even follow that process, and that was the position at that time. What else could have been settled by that presidential election?
Fine, just respond to that.
But you can use it for public opinion and
just respond to that
discredit people.
Because I want you to comment on the next
so it's just it's not a matter that
Dr. Bati says it was resolved. You have your own opinion.
With due respect, Dr. Abati, there was no resolution.
Okay.
You see, we were all in this country that time. What happened was that when they got the files from America, the time was already short in the filing and registration and all the court processes. And that's why the Supreme...
It was a matter of jurisdiction.
It's just a matter of jurisdiction, yes. And I'm happy he made mention of jurisdiction because this was the same Dr. Abati, about 2 weeks on this table, that was defending that if a UK clot Claire, what's her name?
I talked about registration. You have to register it.
that automatically they should not try for what is clear. Now we are talking about
But why
jurisdiction.
do you both say that it was not resolved?
It was
But
not
there
resolved
a
because
committee
see,
that was already
the
set up.
matter
What's
the
the issue?
matter was
Just
not
quickly so they
the
understand.
court dismissed the matter.
Okay, you are saying it was a dismissal.
It has not gone through the process.
They didn't
Admit it. It has not gone through the full
So what-
process
Is that not a
of
decision?
registration
Yeah, that's a
and
decision.
everything.
Okay.
All right, fine.
Things can still come back. Audrey,
Fine.
when you talk the other one,
Yes.
I want to now talk the
Yes, so you can
first
carry,
one.
That's
carry
a
everything.
decision,
So,
huh?
Dr.
Dr.
Bati,
Bati,
your
two
stand
opinions
is
now.
that the matter was decided
not
at
resolve
the
anything,
presidential election committee.
Yes,
That's your
because it
stance.
came up
And
at
your
that time.
stance is the fact that it was not admitted.
So what they are
Yeah.
So
saying
there was not
is labor doubling down on
the
that.
fact that
There
it
are
wasn't
questions to be
admitted,
answered,
can
yes.
it be looked into again at the in the next time?
God
So
bless
those
you
are
for
the
that question.
questions
In
that
Goto,
Nigerians.
all the good things in life will
All
come
right.
to you for that question.
Okay.
Dr. Abasi, answer that
All
question.
right, good. So can it be looked
Dr.
into?
Abasi, answer that
And those
question.
those are the questions Nigerians will ask.
Doctor,
All right.
down question.
I know we will talk about Ruben Abati because that man, I don't know where he stands for. I don't know where he stands. If it's for APC, tomorrow he will be saying it's for the masses. Next tomorrow, it's more defending the Tinubu government. But we will talk about that at the end of this video. But now, I want us to, because we can't go further without not listening to Barrister Darlington in this VOP video. I want us to watch it because he said that the Tinubu government is the worst thing that has happened to Nigeria. If this case, this drug case that is happening to Nigeria now, happening to Tinubu, won't make you believe that foreign investors will come to Nigeria. And that is the reason Nigeria is lacking foreign investors. So let's listen to Barrister Darlington.
How can investors come with this kind of thing, Mr. Okoro? Are you aware that this thing has gone viral all over the world? A sitting president of Nigeria, telling the whole world not to reveal his criminal records. What does that tell you? Mr. Okoro, can you do business with such a president when he comes to you and say, come and invest in my country? Can you? You can see the person demarketing Nigeria. You can see the person refusing investors to come into Nigeria, Mr. Okoro. Do you even know what is going on here? This man is paid money. Somebody from US said that over $2 million is involved in this thing, just to stop somebody's record from being reviewed. If Mr. Tinubu have a very good record, Mr. Okoro, will he be going through this route? And that is the same man who is ruling Nigeria. It's not only the FBI, I hope you know. Yeah,
DEA is involved, Drug Enforcement Agency. You can see the kind of character that is presiding over our affairs in Nigeria, Mr. Okoro. Have you seen why things are not moving? Have you seen why Nigeria is where it is now? How can such a character represent good governance? Just tell me, how? Can you put something on nothing? No, can you put something on nothing and expect it to stand? The whole world should come to the aid of Nigeria. We are in a very big trouble in the hands of Tinubu. He has dealt with us in a manner unprecedented in the history of this country. Everything that is bad, everything that is obnoxious, everything that is illegal is what that man represents. Yet he is presiding over our affairs. How can we move forward? How can Nigeria survive in the hands of a man like that? Please, somebody should tell me. Is it possible? Can Nigeria ever get it right under Tinubu? Look at how much effort he's wasting. Trying to stop that record. How many times now? Since 2023. Even before that time. It started around 2022, towards the end of 2022. This man had been fighting that the US government should not release those records. Can you just imagine? And this is somebody that Nigerians are fighting that he should come back to office. Are we doomed? Mention any other country in the whole world that has such a president has a man as their president. No, just tell me one person, in the whole wide world that has such a character as their president. And shamelessly, he's gone all over the world looking for investors. Shamelessly.
Okay, now that we've listened to the reaction from Atiku against Bayan and Ugam, but there is this other interview I want us to watch with Charles on Arise TV, where this man said that even if what Atiku is doing is good or bad, but there's one thing Atiku should have done, that is stepping down from this forthcoming general election. He should behave like a statesman that he is, and also that the North has been ruling Nigeria and has been in government forever. And this time, it is from the South. Atiku should step this out and let this be between Peter Obi and Tinubu. So now let's watch the interview, then we'll come back to give our final.
I'm talking in the interest of our dear country. His Excellency Abubakar Atiku is a man I respect a lot. He was very close to some of my big brothers, the late Dube Moya and the late Chobo Kadibo. I have great respect for him. And what I'm appealing to him is that he should consider the interest of the Nigerian state, our fledgling democracy. Because about 3 years ago, he did the same thing by breaching the rotation convention. And the collateral damage is heavy. Heavy in the sense that luckily for the Nigerian state, the democracy remained, the country remained. But the destabilization of the PDP had its own collateral damages that cannot be quantified. In fact, the damages got to his backyard. Because if in 2022, he had acted as statesmanship, which I'm pleading with him, that it's not too late to become a statesman in a country like ours. If he had said that in 2014, I walked away from the PDP, telling the then President Jonathan that it's the turn of the North, and joined the APC, ran, I think it was well less than 1 year old when they joined us, in protest. And he contested for presidency with us and came third. Buhari came first, Kwame was second, he came third. And he went back to PDP. And in 2018, presidential primaries of the PDP, no southern aspirant participated. In fact, Wike, then governor of Rivers State, was chief host. In obedience to the rotation convention. By the way, he couldn't have been vice president in 1999 if the big goons then were flamboyant.
You mean the big guns?
Yeah,
because when you say goons, it gives a sort of different sheen. But please go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let us say the big wigs
Yeah.
of both the PDP
Right.
and the APP then, the defunct APP. There was the flamboyant Abakarimi, Umaru Shinkafi, Adam Chiroma, Dr. Shola Saraki, and others, who were, by any standard, if they were on the top, Obasanjo that I know, as a statesman, could have said, okay, I don't want to compete with them. God, thank you for just coming out safe from the prisons. And they all said, no. The Nigerian state is more important than us. Yes, we can talk of merit, but without the country, merit will be of no consequence. They swallowed their own ambition and allowed the zoning to start. Upon which the law fell on President Obasanjo, who now chose Atiku as vice presidential candidate. If Rimi had contested in PDP and won, Atiku couldn't have been. And Obasanjo could have defeated Rimi by any standard. So what am I saying? I'm saying that when he breached it in 2022, the consequences in the PDP had made, because most of the time I will see him talking about one-party state. President Tinubu is engineering one-party state. He forgot, or maybe deliberately, he grossed it over and swept it under the carpet that if he had allowed a southerner to contest with President Tinubu, even the PDP had lost, PDP could have remained strong. Somebody like His Excellency Fintiri, his governor, would have no need to come to APC. And we in APC could have benefited from what democracy provided.
So
in my own opinion, is that what Barrister Daliti said there is almost true, because you see that how Nigeria is performing poorly when it comes to foreign direct investment. I know they will tell you our stock is doing wonderful, but that does not really translate to ordinary Nigerians on the streets. And the worst part of it is that Ruben Abati is chatting, no, the article is supposed to spend that 1.something million naira on the Adamawa people, on Nigerians. And the question I have for Ruben Abati himself, is Atiku the government of Nigeria? Why should Atiku spend his 1 million naira on the people of Nigeria? Atiku is not the government. That is not the functionality of Atiku. Even though I don't support Atiku in this forthcoming general election. But the thing is that it is not the responsibility for Atiku to spend 1 million on the people. Now, let's even look at the case initially. Do we have do we have this so forgotten memory that in 2014 and 2015, how the APC, the Tinubu government, were lobbying the American government against Jonathan? It seems that we've forgotten that so soon. And Ruben Abati was in government at that time. I thought he was on the receiving end. He will be the one to say, why not? Why can't Atiku do this? If Tinubu and his cronies did that when Jonathan was in government. No, Ruben Abati, he seems to be playing this tribalistic politics, whereby anything for the Tinubu government, he's always protected them, whether being bad or not. Some people will call Ruben Abati as a tribal bigot. Because you cannot tell me you forgot it so soon what the Tinubu and APC did to Jonathan. They even brought Secretary of State, that was, I've forgotten his name, of the US to Nigeria, where they were having a separate session with US delegates. It seems that we were having a parallel government. APC, Tinubu, and others were dealing directly with the US government. There was still Obama. I've forgotten the name of this, the Secretary of the Secretary of State of US. I've forgotten his name. Please, guys, if you guys remember the name, see, put it on the list. Put it on the comment section below. They were having direct talk with her, even to the extent the US government, Obama then, threatened Jonathan. But we forget it also. Now it is Tinubu tenure. We don't have right to even say they want to lobby US government against Tinubu. But even to the extent, I myself don't believe in a Trump government, because I know Trump is just a cash and carry government. Who paid the highest bill we get the audience that they want. And I believe that this lobby from Atiku will not even do anything. Only brought just kind of some notice to the discussion. Once Tinubu government start lobbying, because they have more money than Atiku, their money will supersede Atiku's money. And the US is all about lobbying. Who has the highest money, the highest bidder win the day. So that is the issue for now. And I will leave you guys here. Thank you very much. I'll be waiting for you guys on the comment section below. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.